I know that AFC Richmond is going to give you everything they got, win or lose.
Or tie.
Right, y'all do ties here.
Tell me about the origin of the Ted Lasso character. Like, I know you did him for the Premier League ads, but did he exist before that?
No, not really. I mean, it'd be a voice that I'd kind of do when playing a coach. I'm not, Daniel Day-Lewis or Meryl Streep, and so, I've only got like 2 or 3 moves, and one of them is yelling and one of them is being nice. And so, I would do a lot of coaches, and the initial idea from the people that had the idea for these commercials was to play a little bit more of a yelling, screaming kind of coach, someone that motivates through anger and fear and like that style.
Will you explain to me how that was offside? No, I'm asking you, seriously, explain offside to me. It made no sense.
And that's something I played on SNL and something I'd, improvised loosely based on my high school basketball coach who was a big yeller and a screamer and would get like spit on his lip when he'd be yelling at you, and it was scary. But then there's the other side. There's that other kind of coach, like kind of a Jimmy Stewart meets John Wooden, who's a fabled coach from UCLA, basketball coach, the coach like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And I liked someone with that little kind of Andy Griffith, homespun wisdom, Will Rogers kind of vibe. And so that's what we ended up going with.
In an act of solidarity, I spent an entire day not using my hands out of respect towards the game. And I think that went pretty well. I think it garnered a lot of respect from the players. They appreciated not only the fact that I could do most activities without the use of my hands, but that I just tried.
And that, again, that's something that's always kind of in me. I think Ted Lasso is in many ways, I joke, the best version of myself. Or at least the version of me after a couple of beers, on an empty stomach on a bright sunny day, like when you're you're a little day tipsy and you feel like you can take on the world and defend your friends from any oppressors or anything.
What, you going to use my play?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try it on, see if it fits. It might not. Then again, it might be a very flattering silhouette. I might wear it right out of the store. Makes me feel good. I start to strut. I'm like, ooh, I like this.
It's been a long genesis. Like, why is soccer such a I don't know, like a fertile garden for material?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think sports in general are. Any world you know well, I think if you come about it honestly and it's not just a lay-on for jokes and whatnot, but if you truly have a love and appreciation for something, you can find the beauty in any of it. One of the things I always have loved and respected about Aaron Sorkin is that when he decides to shine his creative light on something, he always asks for the best of it, whether it be The West Wing or Sports Center, or even when he did Studio 60 with SNL, he endows things with being just of a higher integrity than the places actually are themselves, and that's inspiring to watch. I know as a fan of his work, and so I think sports allows for a lot of drama and metaphor. Soccer, though I don't know it as well as a sport like, say, basketball, for me personally, I'm smart enough to keep company with people that do, like Brendan Hunt. And so I think, especially as you get to know players, I think that's why we all love the Olympics. Like, I could, give, 2 shakes about, curling, but when it's a brother and sister, from the Midwest are going for a gold against whatever other country, you give a damn, because you've heard their story. It's like watching the behind the scene pieces of American Idol and be like, I like this guy. This guy works at a gas station, but he sings like Barry White. Like, let's see what happens. I love seeing people discover their power, and I encourage them to use it responsibly.
I always figured that tea was just going to taste like hot brown water. And you know what? I was right. Yeah, it's horrible. No, thank you.
Welcome to England.